So because it's like we were in the desert there, so now any trace of water that people see, they think it's going to be good water. You see what I mean? It's like you put someone in the desert for a while and then you just give them water. You give them muddy water, they're going to love it and they're going to drink it. It's something like that. You know how I said miracles and magic are related to exile, okay?
Yeah.
So exile means something very specific in my mind, and I think in the Bible too. Exile means you have some resources, okay? Usually, let's say your country. You're living in your country, you're controlling the resources of that country. That's not exile. That's what we're supposed to always be doing. You're living in your homeland. You're in control of your resources that are yours. That's the normal state of things that we're supposed to aim for, basically. But then there's another state which is called exile, where you separate yourself, or you are separated from your resources, and now you're wandering, okay? So that's basically what exile is. And then you are kind of susceptible to becoming a slave of another power somewhere, right? So this astral projection is this, what I just described, except it's at an individual level, because usually exile is considered more at a communal level. It's like a whole nation, like gypsies, for example, okay? Gypsies, we don't know really where they come from anymore. Maybe we could find out historically, but it's like they've been dispersed, they're in exile. And because of their exile, they have some magic, you know, it's well known, you know, they do divination and they have certain psychic abilities that other people don't. But so it's the same when you do astral projection, is what you're doing. Your body is like your country or your home, your house, your resources that belong to you. It's literally what it is. Actually, your body represents your resources that belong to you. You could tell your body what to do and it does. So it's your resources. And when you do this thing, you separate your, let's say your soul, I don't know what to call it, from your body, and now you're wandering. So now your resources are left open. So your body is now a resource that is not protected anymore by your soul. That's really what's happening. So it's like if you're in your house, you're protecting your house in a way because you're using it, you're in it. But if you leave your house for long enough, maybe a crook will go into it because now there's nobody there. So it's the same thing. Your body becomes an open field or something like that, right? That can be easily taken over by a foreign power. So when you do, so I'm just giving warning about astral projection. It's like people think it's harmless. No, it's not. Because when you do astral projection, your body is now vulnerable.
Unoccupied, yeah.
Yeah, so it can be occupied by a foreign influence. And then when you come back, there's a demon in your body now. It's like if you go away from your house and you return, there might be a crook in your house, and then he might attack you in your house, you see? So it's like, what are you doing? And why do people do it? Because it gives you some powers. Because when you do separate from your body, now you're wandering, now you're in exile, you get magical powers from that. It's literally true. Because the same reason why you get certain abilities when you are in exile in real life. Let's say if I go visit places, I have certain abilities that I don't have when I stay home. It's just an obvious thing. Because now I'm a foreigner. Let's say you go visit another country, you're a foreigner, people don't know you there. They don't know who you are. So that gives you power. I can steal easily now from people, just leave. So this is why people used to be wary of foreigners in their countries, because if you're not part of my group and you're in my space, you don't care what happens to this space. So it gives you a certain amount of power of subversion and of stealing, because you can just leave. And so it's easy to steal when you're in exile. You just go somewhere, you steal, and you leave. Nobody can catch you because they don't know who you are, really. Just like you're unidentified or something like that. So I'm just giving an example here because I was saying magic comes from exile. It's literally true, okay? But I could go far into this, like explain all the kinds of magic that you could get from the state of being separated from your body. It gives you subtle influence powers, really. Well, think about it. If you leave your house, you can go in somebody else's house. See? So maybe if you astral project, you can influence somebody else in real life too with your weird subtle influences. But then your body is open to being influenced too. So that's dangerous to do. So it's like you can get possessed when you do that stuff. So don't do it. I mean, it should be obvious, but I mean, the reason people do it is because it gives them some powers. Like you just said about the military. they're training soldiers to do that, potentially. Why? Because it gives them the ability to spy. It gives them the ability to visit foreign places and see things they're not supposed to see. So there you go. It's all related. So I hope it makes sense what I'm saying. It probably sounds completely insane.
Well, no, it is connected because that's why I brought it up with Stargate, referencing Trump's AI agenda, right? Because symbolically that's what it represents, and we have now this like invisible force that's like spying on all of us with these these LLMs. It's all automated. All the surveillance state is now automated, right? So it's like it's all invisible. You have these invisible entities, or if you want to call them that, I know it's kind of humanizing them even to just say entities or whatever, but yeah, it's machines that are spying on us now. But and to your point, it's arguably even more dangerous where your soul goes when it does depart from the body. So your body's vulnerable, but then your soul, in a sense, is even more vulnerable, because where you're really going is in that aerial realm, as Father Seraphim Rose describes it, and as the Fathers described, where it's really like the hotbed of demonic deception. That's like where that's where St. Paul talks about all of the hierarchy of the demons in the aerial realm, the princes and principalities in the air, and that's where you're going when you do psychedelics. That's where you're going when you do the astral projection. And St. Ignatius Brianchanov talked a great deal about that aerial realm, and he said explicitly that the only permissible way through that realm is in the arms of two angels when the Christian die, like when the Christian's body reposes, you're brought through that realm, you're guided through it by two angels, because you can't actually withstand the deceptions that occur in that realm. You think that you come back and you're more enlightened and that you had this like definitive transformational experience. You saw Jesus, or you saw angels, or you saw, people describe this all the time in near-death experiences. And the deception there is also that, I was comforted. I had this great comfort there. So like whatever I'm doing in my life I'm on the right track. I just keep doing that and I'm going to heaven when I die. I already got a glimpse of it, right? So there's like tons of unimaginable, incomprehensible deceptions that occur in that realm. And this is what, the Fathers talked about, as prelest. It's a form of spiritual deception. You get spiritually wounded when you do something like that, and that's one of the many ways you can experience that prelest. But that's why like these people who would do psychedelics, who have these transformational experiences, there's nothing that's going to convince them that what they did was a deception or that they're deceived in any way, because they're so convinced that they had this transformational experience. They probably even experienced themselves seeing things in a drastically different way or something, So it's very, very difficult to communicate that, nearly impossible to communicate that with those types. But arguably, I think it's even more dangerous where you actually go when you are leaving your body. And then interestingly, with the exile part, it's like, well, that's the demonic realm. What are demons? Yeah. They're all exiles.
Yes, exactly. Exiles from God, really. Exiles from the domain of God. So it's like they don't want to follow the rules of God, so now they're in exile. So you don't want to. It's like you're sent to prison or something. You're going to visit a prison with a bunch of criminals that don't want anything good for you. It's not true that they're on your side or anything like that. They might want you to become a criminal like them, but that's also not good. So it's like the only reason they could like you is so that you join their rebellion, let's say.
Yeah.
If you join a rebellion, then maybe they like you. But if you don't, then yeah. So it's not good either way, obviously, right? It's like you don't want to go into a prison. Yeah. Either you become one of them or you don't. Either way, it's not good. So yeah.
Yeah, or it's almost like you're leaving your body and you're going to like the UN headquarters or something. Like you're going somewhere where like it's the hotbed of like global deception, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I've got to figure it out. Well, no, you just went to where they conceive of all of these deceptions. You know, I'm very much like out of my depth in trying to analogize this, because it's something I think that it can't even be communicated how dangerous it is, honestly. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's I agree with what you're saying. I would have to read some of that what you said there to make sure that I'm not talking about something else. It's always a problem with words, right? It's like you got to make sure you're talking about the same thing. But I think it sounds like it, but because
Well,
it makes sense, the idea that it's the realm of deception,